What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Guys, for the last couple days, we've been talking about how do we get to the burn protocol, how do we get to the process. A couple days ago, I wasn't a fan of something that I was seeing happen with Redline Drifter. He came back hard with a whole bunch of information that fundamentally changed. I'm going to support this guy in whatever it is that he does, because I think that he maybe, look, maybe he's got a great idea, maybe he's got an okay idea, but he's got a difference. That's what matters to me. He's got a plan here, and look, I'm going to support anybody with a plan. And when I don't know your plan, I don't feel like I don't know what's going on. So the only thing I have is a reference to go on. The thing that I had as a reference to go on was that he agreed to create a path forward for a burn protocol, but then it had to go into the hands of centralized exchanges, and we never really got anywhere with it. And I went back and looked at the wording of everything, and it was all about creating. It wasn't about implementing or anything like that. So really, it's just a misunderstanding for some of us who are knuckleheads like myself. We look at these things and we say, well, if you're doing this, you're going to do it to completion. And that's not the case. Sometimes just coming up with the idea, and that's what happens. So let's get into what's going on right here, because there's now a discussion about this, and it's continuing, and I think the future is going to be very bright for Terra Luna Classic, and we're going to see something happen very, very soon. Remember, I got that long shot that Duquan gets released, and if Duquan gets released, or if the charges get dropped by the SEC sometime coming up pretty soon, if any of this stuff kind of happens here, then you're going to see a parabolic run by Luna Classic just like that. So if you're holding, you might be rewarded. But again, that's entirely speculation, but it exists. Now, before we get started, I'm going to call the winners today. They'll be tagged in the comments in the comment section so that you know who won two $100 prizes. And then we're going to give away some more prizes along the way. I think that's important. Give back to the community. You guys are the community, so we're going to continue to do that. If you're looking for it, they're giving away over €1 million. They're giving away $1 million. This team is on point. They are giving away tons of cash, tons of opportunity for you every single day. $11,000 on Daily Madness, 125,000 euros to win between now and June 29th. There's plenty to do here. Make sure that you get involved. Also, don't forget, if you're trading coins and tokens, then Terraport.finance is your place to go right now, covering everything that you need in these ecosystems. You want to buy Garuda X, you want to buy Juris, you want to buy Believe. You can't buy Believe because that's still on TerraPump.fun. You got to unbond it, but all of them down here. You got Terra, you got LUNC, you got USTC, you got Cookie out here cookieing it up, if cookie's even really your name. So whatever it is that you want to buy, you can buy over here at Terraport.finance. All you have to do is connect your wallet. Now, if you're looking for some risk, this is on an Ethereum blockchain, but Pepe Meme. Pepe Meme is going to launch at some point this year. You can buy with Bitcoin, USDT, XRP, BNB, or Solana. $3.7 million raised so far. It's a crazy number right now in this market. This is going to be one of the biggest launches of 2025. If you would like to make frogs great again, then Pepe Meme is going to be the place. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pepe Meme was the first Pepe meme coin to ever launch. And when the other Pepe that really ran launched, it was this was an unknown thing. So they're going to rebrand it. Now, the reason that they're going to rebrand it is because they've got a bunch of ideas, starting off with 3.3 million people following them on Twitter. One of those 3.3 million people on this account, Elon Musk. Don't believe me? Go check the followers and go look. You're going to see a lot of famous, incredible people that are following Pepe Meme. So when Pepe Meme speaks, people are going to listen. Now, if you're checking out Twitter, then they've got a pretty good overall Twitter score. You go to twitterscore.io if you want to look at this, and it will tell you who the top followers are, and you can look at it. By the way, you have to log in for this. I'm not currently logged in, but you can see, and you will be able to see, as in fact, that Elon Musk is in this list if you just use twitterscore.io. Also, there is a game available right now, and they're doing a giveaway, and this giveaway is an airdrop for people that are playing the game in Telegram, and it's going to be like 20 million plus that they're going to drop in tokens. So pre-sale participants are going to have the highest privilege, including earning access to rewards and bonus tokens. All you have to do is go download it and play today. So check out Pepe Meme. today. All right, now back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. So LUNCtoken.org put up a proposal here to talk about Market Module 2.0. And this is where we had the disconnect with Redline Drifter. And in fact, there is a post right here. Vegas made a post and he tagged a few people in this. And a lot of people then started tagging Redline Drifter. Of course, again, he's out here with his own idea, but Vegas says this: as you know, we're facing a critical situation on Terra Classic that can no longer be ignored, the depletion of the Oracle pool. The heart of our chain is proof of stake, and as staking rewards continue to decline, we risk losing competitiveness, even falling below the yields of low-risk capital staking options. This is exactly why the market module must operate at layer 1. Here's a solid proposal that can be implemented quickly and will keep both LUNC and USTC on a deflationary path. So that is where it started, and where did it go? Well, Redline Drifter steps in and says, as I'm getting tagged a bit, and I made a general don't turn on the market module post, I'll just clarify here for everyone. Without giving out too much, this proposal set out by Vegas doesn't conflict with what we are working on. We will probably even use some of the protection measures. I had a quick look over the proposal, but we'll take a thorough look over the weekend. In terms of the risk, this proposal is referencing both currencies at their market prices rather than set Oracle prices and their supply mint caps. So there isn't a risk of hyperinflation. And that's what I said in the beginning, that what Vegas was talking about was a market module 2.0. Redline Drifter now confirming I was right, because I'm always right. Right, wrong, no, whatever. At the same time, because the arbitrage incentives is gone, this isn't going to be what burns down supply at the rates we minted. That is also correct as well. But getting it alive, getting it out here so that we can start a process of updating and creating more efficient mechanisms is the important part, in my opinion. But this aspect will be addressed with the stablecoin product we are working on should the community support it. So there you have it. There's a real potential here. And, let's take the market module and let's put it into perspective with a stable coin. Really, what we're talking about is Terra and Luna, and we're talking about LUNC and USTC in that regard. What we're doing is we're adding a third wheel in, which is the actual stable coin. So there's going to be arbitrage opportunities, and there will be, but there will also be buy and sell opportunities. What we're lacking is a stable coin. Now, what they're saying is basically this. To really summarize this for you guys the best way that I can, without a dollar peg, then there's no safe haven for LUNC and for USTC. That safe haven is how you create opportunity. So Luna Classic runs up to 407 and you sell at 407 and you put it into USTC. Well, if USTC goes down with Luna Classic, you didn't get a win. You just moved your money around. And by the way, it's very difficult to keep up with these pairings, and you could lose. You could lose drastically in very short periods of time. But with a stable coin, then you're going to trade it from Luna Classic, and you're going to put it into a stable coin, which is going to run at $1. And then when you decide the moment is right to re-enter USTC or Luna Classic, then you can do that. Now, the question then is what kind of fees can we do and what kind of burn mechanism can we work around that whole process? And that's what this really comes down to. So this new stablecoin could be exactly what we're looking for. And it goes into the market module, at least in my opinion, this is what would be happening. It would go into the market module, and then it would work synergistically between all three of them so that you have opportunities with Luna Classic, you have opportunities with USTC, with the focus being you can now trade in order to burn some of these tokens back and forth, and of course make money along the way. It's really about the money. It's not about the burn. It's always about the money. But the side effect of this is that you now have a path forward for an open market module that would allow you to do some burns. And of course, if there is some opportunity to go between LUNC and USTC for additional burns, maybe that'll be opened as another lane. It's all up in the air at this point. Maybe we'll close that up. But there's a lot of opportunity here, but we need that market module. So anyway, we got Market Module 2.0 out here, and we got Redline Drifter, who seems to be not even on the fence. He's in on this. Is he going to head it up? Is he going to say it's great? Is he going to promote it or anything like that? No, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but he doesn't think that it interferes with anything that they've got going on, and what they've got going on is massive. So there you have it. The future is going to be very, very bright. I'm telling you right now, Terra Luna Classic is about to have a gigantic revival. Now, is it going to be tomorrow? Probably not. Is it going to be a week from now? I don't know. Is it going to be a month from now? I don't know when it's going to be. Look, I don't know. But I do know that the market is going to start to sizzle very soon. By the way, the reason that the market is down today, Israel launched bombs in Iran. So there's going to be a retaliation. There would have to be a retaliation. Remember, Israel launched bombs into Iran about 6-7 months ago, maybe 9 months ago at this point, and then Iran called them and told them exactly where they were going to bomb in retaliation. And now here we are with it happening again. And the question is it going to be a single retaliation, or is Israel and Iran in a situation that could escalate? I don't know the answer to that. So that's why the market is uncertain right now, but global liquidity is still flowing in. We'll see another spike. We're going to see a spike. Okay. This is not done yet. We're still consolidating at a pretty good clip and a pretty good level. Meme coins, little movement today, nothing to write home about. Let's look at price action. By the way, before we start on price action, just know there are no proposals currently up in the system. Now, here we go. And what did we see? Well, what have we here? We have a breakdown to the bottom of the range, which, by the way, I mean, guys, I don't want to say I told you so. I would like to see this thing run up to the top. I don't like the structure of it, by the way, just so you guys understand. Like, I'm looking at it from this standpoint where this line that we created the other day, just to show that trend right there, that line I'm not comfortable with, because what I'm seeing right now is this right here kind of developing in the middle. That's sort of at the heart line, but that's prohibiting a move to the upside. And that means we've got bearish momentum forming right now. And you basically can see that from the outflow of money. There was an outflow for quite a few days here. We saw a green return, but it didn't last, and it's coming back down. We have a low RSI, or a relatively low RSI, which means that there's a possibility of some upside momentum. And to be fair, once we wick down to this range, we did get bought up pretty quickly. It's happening real time, but let's also remember the markets have tanked because there's a real possibility of a war breaking out in the Middle East. And look, we've been trying to avoid that for a long time. So there's a lot of nervous money sitting out here right now. That's happening at the same time, by the way, that the market is having a natural pullback. Now, when we look at it from this context, we had this big move right here. You don't have these gigantic moves in the market. And by that, I mean this big green move right here. You don't get those without some kind of pullback or sideways action. Now, these are healthy. This big surge right here had a healthy pullback, even came down lower before doing it again. Like it's the waves of the market. And every time there's a move, there's a counter move. Every time there's a move, there's a counter move. This sideways move leads to a downward move, a big upward move, downward move, big upward move. I mean, guys, you've seen it play out ad infinitum, and that's really what's going on. So look, we've got a nice big candle right here. That usually means, if this day plays out the way that it looks right now, that usually means that the buyers are stepping in at this level and they're about to start the surge, or the second surge of whatever the rally is. And then, of course, I think that would be really, what we're looking at is, I gave you a couple of different levels. What we're doing is bouncing off of that level, coming down a little bit because of a crisis, but that ultimately means that we should run back up into this range right here. So that's the overall market. USTC holding up actually a little better, but you can see, like, we just gave you that yesterday, and it's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. So again, not a big fan. Upside momentum here, 1225 maybe. I don't think I think it'll break back into this range right here. But as you can see, if it breaks out sideways, then we're going to have to change this fundamentally. But we already know what the path is right there, and that's going to be kind of that right there. Like, that's a little bit less aggressive a path on the way going sideways. A lot of that, but that also means that we're slowing down our trajectory if that starts to happen, if that makes sense. So let's talk volume real quick. Still up 16 million, having a nice little rally here, up 23%. Nice little rally. It's going to lead to some good burns over at Binance if it plays out. Burns 346. Now, why is that? Yesterday we had 60 billion in burns. Today we've got 30 billion. So it's not a bad day. The one that we're going to be trading off is, we're going back 6 days here to the 7th day. We're going to be trading off 20 million for 30 million right now. So the burns are going to tick up a little bit, not nearly enough, but they are going to tick up. So that's it. We need 2 billion in burns. Now, Again, Redline Drifter working on a stablecoin. Vegas Morph working on Market Module 2.0, or at least a team working on Market Module 2.0. And if that happens, then this thing really has the potential to start to get crazy. Will it get crazy? I don't know. But there's a possibility that it could. And that's good enough for me, because you can't risk it, or risk it for the biscuit. Hey, whatever funny stuff that would make you laugh right now, that's what I just said. So ha 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 ha. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.